And no one does that for Albert King. And I heard that and I was like, yeah, he hears that. Or, you know, Anna, I mean, plays completely differently than I do, but I grew up in Boston. Ronnie Earl was, you know, he was always there. He was one of the guys for me who put it together. I'd heard Magic Sam, I'd heard Otis Rush, I'd heard T-Bone, and then Ronnie just was this ball of intensity at the front of the stage, playing his version of all the stuff I love. But I got completely different things from Ronnie than Anna did, you know, but we're both influenced by that. So one of the things that, you know, one of the things that I work on a lot is, you know, the blues is really vocal music. It's really storytelling music. And one of the interesting things about a lot of the blues guys is they play exactly the same way they sing. I don't know if anyone else has ever noticed that, but you listen to like Muddy's first record for Chess, it's I Can't Be Satisfied and Feel Like Going Home, and his guitar, he's playing slide, but it sounds exactly like his voice, just an octave higher. Or like Buddy Guy sang high and crazy, and he played high and crazy, you know. T-Bone Walker was smoother and more conversational, you know. And BB's playing has changed over the years, but he always had that sort of gospel drama and the great high falsetto. And, you know, there's not a huge difference between yes and, you know, which BB does sort of punctuate things. So one of the things I started doing was I started trying to learn vocal melodies on the guitar, to try to break away from copying people's guitar licks. And one of the interesting things I found, like, BB, you know, BB's as huge for me as he is for Chris. My son's middle name is Riley, so, but, you know, like, I remember listening to Sweet 16 and, like, trying to, and the interesting thing is if you play BB's vocal melodies on guitar, you're playing guitar just like BB King. You know? Because that's what he did. And I'm not, you know, I'm not a great singer. I get to sing one or two songs a night in Sugar Ray and the Blue Tones, and I do the ones I'm best at. Because I'm not an idiot, but I think people, you know, seeing the Blue Tones, it gives the impression that I'm kind of a better singer. But, so I kind of try to play guitar like the singer I'd want to be. Which, you know, some of that is just trying to get beyond just the fretted note and, you know, different ways to make it sing, you know. There are different kinds of bends and vibrato. You know, someone like Otis Rush has that beautiful, which is, Otis Rush is huge for me. Or like Magic Sam had a quicker sort of, which is, again, the same way he sang. He had a very fast vibrato when he sang, or of course, BB. And that's, you know, the same note, but those are three different ways of approaching it. So my playing was getting more and more vocal and bendy and slippery. So I started thinking, well, hell, you know, I bet I could try to play slide guitar, you know, without actually using a slide, just using the same kind of ends, because slide guitar was all about the human voice. So one of my favorites was Robert Nighthawk. Tried to learn some of the open tuning slide stuff, but in standard tuning, and I didn't get very far with that, but it was fun, just as an exercise in how can I get this guitar to respond, to do what I hear in my head without changing all my settings, or without, like, okay, now I'm going to, you know, pick up a metal guitar with finger picks and a slide and try to be John. You know, that's not going to work. You know, and I kind of like just sort of having the thing I do but you know, changing it up a little bit. But I did try to get like that muddy. You guys are so unreasonably nice. You know, I mean, you know, people will come up and be so effusive and just nice, and I'm just like, that's the way I feel about everyone I've seen. You know, I mean, Debbie and I have known each other a long time. We've played together a lot over the years, and she still surprises me with how great she can be. You know, like even I know she's great, but then I'll play with her and it'll be like, oh right. You know, like Chris. I mean, Chris is like B.B. King on Mars. Because he'll start playing things that are totally familiar to me and it feels like, you know, home. It feels like, you know, getting into a warm bed because he's playing stuff that's so familiar, and then whoops, there he goes into the stratosphere. And so it's both familiar and it feels good, but it's also totally surprising. You know, I can think of right off the top of my head, I can think of 5 songs. Sorry. I'm sorry, I think in complete paragraphs. I'll let you guys go. But thank you.
He's got so much inside him that wants to come out. That's why we play.
The voices tell me what to do. It's just B.B. King and Muddy Waters voices.
But we haven't heard yet from one of the most popular players, from one of the most popular bands on the boat, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, across the country, I want to hear what Slick Nick has to say. Give it up, everybody.
First off, please keep it going for Debbie Davies putting on this wonderful event. This is really cool. I mean, I really do feel kind of silly sitting next to John here with the dobro, the resonator. But no, yeah, growing up down in Kansas City area, it's down right where the Missouri Hills kind of end and it goes into the Kansas Plains. And we grew up in a little town called Rich Hill, Missouri. It's an old coal mining town and it dried up. And when the coal was mined out, the town just kind of died. So it seemed really, you know, long, and you could see the sun setting over the Kansas Plains, and it just felt like really long, big notes. I just go. Song I wrote for my little girl is called "You're Too Big to Carry." It's like my story to her too. Yeah. My father, he was also into Mr. Johnny Winter. And he had a Firebird he used to play, this 76 Firebird. I loved it, man. I loved it so much. And on Saturday afternoons, he'd be putting Johnny Winter records on. And so he got me into this Meantown blues.
Told me, my mama told me, boy. My mama told me, and my papa told me, my mama told me, boy. It's a mean old town when you're living on your own. When you're living on your own, living on your own. When you're living on your own. Of course, I take it up a little bit. I like to do things kind of my own. Yes. So that really reaches into my heart more than a lot, than a lot of stuff. I love to, like Monster Mike was saying, we can pick up a lot of different styles of blues, and being from Kansas City as well, there's a lot of swing. There's a lot of swing to it, man. Some jazzy changes and stuff. And Chris and I were kind of talking about that. You find the licks that you really like and just kind of put things together the way you hear them, especially when you're from Mars.
Yeah. My favorite Martian.
Absolutely, yeah. First time I saw Chris Kane was with Roger down at Delaware, the Delaware Blues Festival, I think it was. That was 15 years ago, maybe. It was awesome. Tore me up then, tear me up now.
Well, I gotta ask you, do you have a name for that axe you're playing there?
I don't. I had some, but this one over here, some guy came up to me, he goes, "What's the name of that guitar?" I said, it's America. America.
How about you, Mike?
Sometimes I'll go up to my guitar and go, you. No, but, the main guitar I played all through the 90s, and I still play it a bunch, is a Blue Stratocaster that is not this one, and that one is just the Blue Strat, and now I have to figure out a way to differentiate, because, the other blue one, this one's the other blue one.
Okay. What about if we all just kick off a little jam together? Maybe we'll do a little Freddie King or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
A little shuffle? All right, how about the stumble? Y'all into it? Key of E from the 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, no wonder I feel slow. It's the morning. You guys are so beautiful for coming out in the morning to hear all of us. Marky Knox over here, everybody. Give it up. Monster Mike Welch, Sugar Ray, and the Blue Tone. The one and only Chris Kane. Chris Kane Band. Blues legend and my friend, Mr. John Hammond. Give it up. And one of our favorites, the new blues, ladies and gentlemen, but filtering the old blues, a young man who's doing a beautiful thing, Slick Nick. Give it up. Drop 11 foot. Thank you so much. My name's Debbie Davies, and I'm a fan of all these guys. And we want you to know that there might be CDs left by some of the artists. We beg of you, check them out. You guys, it's beautiful. Come back, please. The Blues Cruise is our home. We love you all.
Thank you to all. You might get a chance to see them again because Chris Kane's got a jam session on the pool deck this afternoon. Check that out. Nick with Trampled Underfoot is playing, I think, at 12:30. Yeah. So again, the store is open.